As Barack Obama once said, if the people cannot trust their government to do the job for which it exists, to protect them and to promote their common welfare, all else is lost.
As a group, us 3 college students partook in the polls for California's propositions, and we spent countless hours researching all 11 of these props, and the 2 that really stuck out to us were numbers 8 and 10. As college students, we are the future, and the way that we voted on these today will affect our future.
To get started, let's examine both propositions 8 and 10. Although money has an undeniable bearing on voters' decisions, human welfare should hold more value when going to the polling place. Proposition 8 deals with dialysis patients, while Proposition 10 decides rent control.
Dialysis patients are being rejected due to prices and money. In the article, A Battle Over Dialysis Patients' Profits, interviewed a retired dialysis patient on his take on Proposition 8. He claimed, but to come in across the board in California and say, we're going to take these jobs, this money, and these services away from you, he says this is barbarian.
This means that the California state legislators would treat kidney dialysis patients as if they do not deserve the care that they need because they can't afford it. People rich or poor deserve their treatment. Likewise, with housing prices steadily rising and seemingly no end in sight, many people believe that rent control is the only solution to that problem. Rent control has been able to reliably decrease the cost of housing for prospective renters, and studies have shown that it can even drive down housing prices in uncontrolled markets.
Another study found that this lower housing price was able to benefit people from all income brackets, with the most benefit being realized by those with lower incomes. With this in mind, the passage of Proposition 10 is able to improve the well-beings of minorities and the poor, who would benefit more from a wide availability of housing.
It is the relationship between both propositions that shows how these measures will affect human welfare. What is the relationship between Proposition 8 and 10? I think that these propositions will affect low-income families, those who require dialysis, landlords, taxpayers, and dialysis clinics. They say that Proposition 8 will impact the profits that dialysis clinics can make, which will lead clinics to provide quality treatment for the benefit of lower insurance premiums, while Prop 10 will limit the profits of landlords, which will keep California homes affordable. This means that both of these propositions will potentially cost Californians money, but they can serve to benefit those who need dialysis and rent control.
In a similar way, both propositions are relevant to California voters because they appeal to their values. So what are these values that Californians hold with respect to these propositions? I think that both Propositions 8 and 10 deal with how California residents value the welfare of others in relationship to their own money and the money of private businesses. They say that Proposition 8 caps the profits of dialysis clinics to assure that the service is more affordable and accessible, while Prop 10 will allow cities to enact rent control to keep housing affordable. This means that when considering these propositions, voters must make a decision on whether they value the profits of these dialysis clinics and landlords or the welfare of those who depend on dialysis or affordable housing.
In other words, how will Prop 8 and 10 affect California residents? How do we know that Prop 8 and 10 have an effect on residents of California? I think that Prop 8 will result in dialysis clinics charging clients less money for their services, and Prop 10 will reduce rents for low-income families. They say that Prop 8 will limit dialysis clinics to 15% profits, and actions like Prop 10 have been shown to successfully reduce rents, especially for low-income and elderly tenants. This means that by passing Propositions 8 and 10, we would ensure more affordable dialysis and keep the ever-rising rents at bay, making housing more accessible.
Let's recap what we covered today. Proposition 8 and 10 hold value to California voters because of their contributions to human welfare and will potentially affect their everyday lives.
When voting, individuals need to assess their values in relationship to money and well-being and make an informed decision on the ballot. If you prioritize the well-being of people, then a yes on 8 and 10 is the correct route.
As said by Tony Robbins in his TED Talk speech, we have great opportunities and great experiences, and with your help, we will meet them and make this next year the best year in our history. Vote yes on Propositions 8 and 10.